My question that I have is concerning the kind of the vibe of Engage itself. This is the second Engage that was on the Apple campus. Before, when they were called DevCons, they'd be held in a hotel, and a lot of the fun part of going to a conference like this is um, being able to network and what happens in between the sessions. And there was some criticism last year that networking things are not quite localized. I'm wondering what sort of improvements, whether what they learned from last year to this year, and how that made a better conference. I don't know if the guys can address that, or what they felt.
Yeah.
For me, I think that they did some really nice things. They gave more time between sessions, so you had more time to be able to connect with other people and other people that attended. It was in the familiar place. It felt way more relaxed this year than it was last year. So I like the facility. The Apple facility was really nice. All of the AV equipment is really awesome for presenting. It was super helpful for them recording and everything. So it a lot better than had experienced that I'd experienced at other DevCons FileMaker events. So I really like that aspect of it. It was way more relaxed. It felt for me, even though I was having anxiety about presenting. But the cool part was having that extra time between sessions to really take and engage with other people and have that networking opportunity and not feeling rushed like, oh crap, we got to get on to the next session. And then you get into the next session and you're just being fed a lot of information, but you don't have a moment to sort of compile it and reflect on it. And so I think that was for me, that was a really positive takeaway this year.
Yeah, I would agree completely about what seems like an intentional bit of extra time in between sessions to allow people to chat. One thing I think about the space at Apple is that there's a lot of different sized rooms. There's the rooms that some of the sessions are in. And then there's rooms that are as small as one person that can go into it and work for a few minutes, or a small room with three chairs around a table. So there's a lot of little places that you can pull yourself away into to work on a presentation or chat with some people about something. So that's kind of nice. I think they also worked harder to get everybody into a separate space for the meals. We had 3 different events in the large Apple kind of
Cafe Mac.
Apple cafeteria kind of place. They call it Cafe Max. And so we had 3 events in there. So that gave a pretty big opportunity for chatting with people and running into different people. And so I get what you're saying, or what somebody might say. There's not that opportunity to just meet in the hotel bar kind of at random and sit there having a beer. That opportunity doesn't exist. But there's a lot of opportunity to run into people and meet and talk a bit. And then there was a lot of people we aren't staying at the conference hotel. There's a complex a few miles away called the Domain, which is really just a shopping mall. But I think the conference hotels are down there. And so if you're staying in the conference hotel, there's at least a little bit of opportunity to meet people down that way, although we weren't down.
Well, Joe went down last night.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, catch up with some
And
people.
last year I had. This year I was just like,
yeah.
I had to decompress.
Yeah.
But Joe, man, the Domain last year was a lot of fun. It's getting to chat.
Yeah,
with
it's like a
everybody.
neat, yeah, it's a neat area. I mean, yeah.
So a follow-up question on that. Sessions were only 2 days. Do you feel that was enough time? Should there have been a third day? I'm not talking about the training day.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I feel like because I was going to a couple of non-public sessions, I was going to a couple of smaller meetings with some people and helping Zandon prep for his presentation. I probably only went to half the sessions. And they didn't start doing the sessions until 1:30 on Tuesday. So there was really only a day and a half of sessions. And so I think it's a good question. Is that enough? I don't feel like I got to enough stuff, but I'm planning on watching some of the videos. I'm looking forward to the full access conference in the fall, where there's going to be a little bit more technical content. Do you want to say a tiny bit about that, Mike? As long as that's coming up.
Yeah, so myself and John Howell of Data Experience have formally announced that we are putting on a unconference in the Silicon Valley area at a retreat. And our intention there is to not just have lots of sessions, but to provide an intimate atmosphere where people can really do a lot of networking and get together. And but we're going to put a little bit more structure in it, and we are going to try to pack 3 sessions at a time, variable lengths over basically 4 days. So, good 40 sessions with a wide, there will be AI sessions, but there's other topics to discuss, as well as not only technical, but work life stuff that is kind of only really appropriate in that particular atmosphere. I'm looking forward to that. It's challenging putting something like this together, but we've got a lot of momentum going, and our registration will start on March 31st.